This is Short Hammer. It is the 7th of June, 2020, and this is Trading Zones. Now, last week was insane. We just grinded to the upside. And every time the bears thought they may have something, it seems as if the bulls just gapped it against them. So my outlook on the market is follow the trend of the day. Don't get caught up trying to catch the top or guess the top, because was this the top here? Was this the top? And for a few cycles, yeah. But just whatever the trend of the day is, follow that trend and don't try to guess where it's going. Just watch, see what the buyers or sellers are doing, and take it in that direction. For me, if I'm looking at the futures here, you have to look at the higher time frame and look at areas in the past where you saw strong candle, I say candle structure, right? So if you look here, this interacts. This is on a 4-hour with the area where we are right now, and this area here is around the 3195s, right, through 3207s, and it can give rise right up into the 3221s. So basically, if you wanted to put a zone between this 3192 and 3221-ish, where you wanted to look for potential sell side or the inability of the buyers to get us above that area, it's logical based on the past candle structure. So to the upside, what you have is the 3221s, the 3259s, 3286s, 3329s. To the downside, you have the 3180s, 3156s, 3118s. I'm seeing these levels, but I'm going to be careful trying to guess, oh, this is the top we're going to sell, but it seems as if it's logical for us to have a pullback to the 3122s just based on this little candle structure here to retest this break. But we'll see if that's even happening or if we're just going to squeeze to the upside. But I'll look for things like that for good entries on the futures. And if I get stopped out, it just is what it is. You gotta sort of put your stake in the ground on setups, and whatever setup that you like that fits your personality, that's what you take. Just be comfortable in whatever setup you take and be comfortable dealing with the consequences. And if you size accordingly, it shouldn't be such a big deal, whatever those consequences are, if you hedge yourself or if you are sized correctly. The risk management. On the Russell, what's interesting is what we discussed was, can we get through the 1350s first, right? Last time we were there, we saw sell side. This was a pullback on the sell, pullback here and down. So we wanted to get through the 1453 area, and if we could do that, so we see this candle structure here, right around 1453. If we can do that, we wanted to see what would happen after that, and we kind of popped through. Now, if you're bullish, what you would like to see, or what I would like to see, I'd say, if I'm bullish, is separation above the 1516s that solidifies and cements that this area here we've broken through and we're going to hold, and the buyers to give us a squeeze. And so the next levels, if that is to happen, is the 1516, then the 1560, then the 1612s. And if the sellers step in and hold up this candle structure that we looked at in the past, then we're going to see the 1453s and potentially the 1416s. But the back test of this 1453 area, where it looks almost like a plateau, seems pretty logical to happen. Now, sell all the way down here may not be as logical. Pardon me. So peek at Amazon. Look at these. I guess you call them upper wicks, but areas where price reversed. And back there again, price reversed. We're here, price didn't reverse. We bought through. On the back test, we sold a little bit. Now we're pushing back up. Now this little sell here is interesting because you would expect the buyers to step in here, just given a little bit of structure here, and push us back to the upside. At least give us a shot at this. So this sell probably had nothing at all to do with Amazon. And they are, I believe, doing a Prime Day or something like a Prime Day later on in June to try to drive those numbers up. So I'll keep an eye on Amazon to see if we see a slight pullback where people are maybe hopping out to get a nice big run into that move, or if we continue to grind higher with the thoughts that even though I was like, man, people are going to be getting back to work, leaving the house, the economy is going to be rolling again, less people will be buying on Amazon, buying from Whole Foods. And I was kind of on that thought process. Amazon could sort of be stacking the deck where, because they're going to be having a nice sales event, that they're still going to keep their numbers up as things transition in the economy a little bit for them. So we'll see how that shakes out. But I think Amazon's very interesting. This range is insane. So if I don't know, I say these levels so flippantly, but there are ways to play it with verticals or other strategies if you don't want to invest a ton of money into it. But this is an interesting setup on Amazon. We'll see if we can get some separation either to the upside or the downside from this area. But in the past, when we've pushed up into these higher portions or higher sections of the chart or higher price points, the buyers have not had the appetite to give us a significant separation to the upside. So we'll see if that continues this upcoming week. If the sellers will sort of grab the wheel and drive us back to the downside a little bit, get a little bit of logic and reason, or if they're like caution to the wind and people believe that Amazon is going to consistently be getting stronger for the next week or more. So we'll see how that works out. Microsoft, and remember, this is a 4-hour chart. To me, it appears to be consolidating. It is testing the top of what I call a mini channel, just because from let's see here, first test, pull back. Second test wasn't too long after, sideways, pull back. We're buying back up again. So this could be viewed two ways. This could be viewed as strength, and that the buyers are taking this back to the upside to pop this, or we could just be having a back test before we see a nice sell. For me, I'm going to wait to see if we hold the 185.50 area. If we hold that, then I might take a long on it, using that area as my stop. If we break back under the 185.50 area and we're bearish, then I'll probably just fade this down to the 180-ish area here, maybe lower. Apple is what I believe to be, is this all-time highs on Apple? Looks like it may be. We'll see. I'll have to double check that. But if so, as things open back up and people get back into the Apple stores, I would expect their services side to pick up a little bit. So we'll see what those numbers look like. But if this was the worst based on the expectation of not knowing when they would open up, and those stores are open now, we'll see. So I'll be watching this against the 328s, and if we stay above that, I might get long against the 328, putting my stop on bearish patterns below the 328. So this might be interesting. Just looking at the past candle structure where we've seen rejection and reversals, will we see the same thing this time, or will this be a breakthrough? So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Apple. Next up is Intel. We remember this channel from previous videos, and we kind of were in another channel, right? We pushed up near the 6370s, pushed back down, tested the channel, up, down, tested the channel, and now we're seeing a break. We'll see if this can continue. If we see or look, the gap is 6407-ish, so we closed that gap, it looks like, with strength. And now we're up here. So we'll see. What I'll watch for is if we push into the 6559s, I see this candle structure here. We'll see if there's a reaction. So I would look to get short there if I see a little bit of rejection here. And look for a pullback down right into the 6190. So we'll see. But if this rejects, the first stop is 6370s, this line, but also look at these reversal areas. And we'll see if we can squeeze and run. So I'll be watching this, and if we're trending up intraday and this is getting stronger, then I'll be long. If we're trending down and this is getting weaker, then I'll be short. Like I'm not coming in with any implicit bias in either direction. McDonald's above the channel that we mentioned, the 191s to 196s. We rejected here. We rejected kind of here. Buyers did step in, gave us a nice little squeeze to the upside. So what I'll be watching for McDonald's is if we hold the 196s area, then we do have the potential to squeeze and move a little bit, a little shake and bake. So to the upside, we have 201, then 206, and 209. To the downside, we have 196, 191, and 188. There's sort of the immediate areas. This does look, slightly bullish to me. So I think as long as it holds this 196, I'll be looking for a long position in McDonald's. Tesla went sideways for a while, then we gapped. Best way through supply is to gap through it. Back test here, then we're sort of continuing on our way. Tesla's risky, but if we take a peek, this area was a upper area on previous day, and we have to see if we can pop the top. To the upside, we have 937 and 969. To the downside, 857 and 758. We'll see how that works on Tesla. Facebook is interesting. We are above quite a few areas that I thought would serve as a supply areas for Facebook. But if we look to the left, we see candle structure here above the 226 area. So just yeah, I'll just be watching this, right? Because I have these temp lines here. This 228, 236. So I'll see what we get here, or if we backtest this trend. But I'll be looking for a daily scalp play on Facebook. I never trust Facebook. It seems they release news at the worst possible times. So I'll be watching this, but we see this bottom in action here, and we'll see if we can, honestly buy it. Let's see, buy it back up, squeeze through here. Yes, if we could possibly buy this back up, we'll see if that's what happens in the market, just based on these lower areas here around this 222-ish area. So we'll see on Facebook if that's the case, if we hold that and we get a squeeze to the upside, or if we end up channeling a little bit too. also possible. Goldman Sachs up into the channel area we have marked, pushed above, came back in, kind of held this 197, pushed back up again, and we're going sideways. So for Goldman Sachs, to the upside, we have 226 and 232. To the downside, we have 214 and 207. So I'll be keeping an eye on Goldman Sachs. I usually like to use Goldman Sachs as a litmus test or a way to gauge the financials and the interest in financials when it has no news of its own. So we'll see how this plays out on financials and on Goldman Sachs. The SPY above that channel, look at the separation here. We're just squeezing to the upside. So we'll see if that continues. So to the upside, I'll be watching 320 and 328, 332. To the downside, let's see, where are we? Looks like 315, 307, 302, 290. So that will be interesting on the SPY. So we'll see where that goes. If you like this video, tap the like button. And please don't hesitate to subscribe to our channel, Power of Pivots, where you can look forward to receiving more content from me and also content from Elisa as she shows you how she utilizes her Power of Pivot scripts to find great setups pre-market, intraday, and also great swing plays. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful week of trading, and please remain safe.